The haunting case of Sierra LaMar, a mother's unending quest for justice. On the morning of March 16, 2012, a seemingly ordinary day in Morgan Hill, California, took a tragic turn when 15-year-old Sierra LaMar vanished without a trace. What began as a typical school morning quickly spiraled into a chilling mystery that gripped the nation. Sierra, a bright and cheerful high school sophomore, was known for her infectious smile and positive energy. She had dreams of the future, aspirations that would never come to fruition. Her sudden disappearance left an entire community in shock, prompting an extensive search effort that lasted for years. The case of Sierra LaMar remains one of the most haunting unsolved cases in recent history, leaving many unanswered questions. March 16, 2012, started like any other day for Sierra. She got ready for school, packed her bag, and left home to catch the school bus. However, she never arrived at the bus stop, and she never made it to school. Hours passed, and her mother, Marlene Lamar, grew increasingly worried when Sierra failed to return home. A mother's intuition is powerful, and Marlene knew something was wrong. She reported her daughter missing, setting off a massive search that would capture nationwide attention. Investigators quickly got involved, retracing Sierra's last known movements. What they found only deepened the mystery. Her cell phone was discovered in a field a few miles away from her home, its screen shattered as if it had been thrown or dropped. Nearby, her school bag was also found, abandoned with its contents scattered. These chilling discoveries painted a grim portrait. Sierra may have been taken against her will, but who could have done this, and why? The first 48 hours were critical as investigators pored over every inch of nearby fields and neighborhoods. Friends and classmates were questioned, but no leads materialized initially. Attention turned to whether Sierra may have been targeted by someone she knew, or if this was a random act of violence. The possibility of hope remained for Sierra's family, but it was accompanied by the rising fear of what the evidence hinted at. Authorities wasted no time launching an aggressive search operation. Hundreds of volunteers combed the fields, lakes, and trails around Morgan Hill, hoping to find any trace of Sierra. The community rallied behind the Lamar family, refusing to give up hope. Social media campaigns spread like wildfire, with thousands sharing Sierra's story in hopes that someone, somewhere, would provide a lead. Weeks passed, however, with no significant breakthroughs. It wasn't until weeks later that a crucial piece of evidence surfaced that finally shifted the investigation forward. Authorities uncovered DNA evidence that eventually led to a suspect, 21-year-old Antolin Garcia Torres. His DNA was found on Sierra's belongings, linking him to the case. His name quickly became synonymous with suspicion, but new questions now emerged. How did he know Sierra? Could this be a random crime, or were there deeper, troubling connections? Garcia Torres was no stranger to law enforcement. He had a past riddled with troubling incidents, including investigations for attempted kidnappings. Investigators began piecing together his movements and background. Not only did he have a pattern of criminal behavior, but there was also evidence to suggest he had prowled the Morgan Hill area for potential victims. Pieces of a chilling puzzle seemed to fall into place, but law enforcement still had monumental gaps to address. Where was Sierra? Could forensic evidence alone bring justice? The emotional toll of the relentless search extended beyond the investigators and her family. It engulfed an entire community desperate for answers. Candlelight vigils and rallies kept Sierra's memory alive in public consciousness, but the shadow of uncertainty loomed as hope clashed with the grim reality of her disappearance. In May 2012, just 2 months after Sierra's disappearance, Antolin Garcia Torres was arrested and charged with kidnapping and murder. For her family, this moment was both a relief and a harsh reminder of Sierra's unknown fate. The prosecution faced a daunting challenge. There was no body. Yet the circumstantial and forensic evidence was staggering. DNA linking Sierra to Garcia Torres's car painted a frightening account of what may have happened. Strands of her hair were discovered in his vehicle, cementing his involvement. Despite the mounting evidence against him, Garcia Torres remained uncooperative. His silence offered no clarity or closure for the Lamar family. His trial, which began in early 2017, 5 years after Sierra's disappearance, was both a legal battle and an emotional crucible. Family members shared heart-wrenching testimonials, recounting Sierra's exuberant spirit and shattering vulnerability on the day she vanished. investigators laid bare the scientific evidence connecting the young girl to Garcia Torres's vehicle. Still, the absence of Sierra's remains posed an emotional anchor throughout the process. What truly happened to her? Why would Garcia Torres, an acquaintance-turned-criminal, extinguish such a vibrant light? The jury deliberated for weeks before arriving at a verdict. Guilty of first-degree murder and kidnapping, Garcia Torres was sentenced to life in prison without parole. And yet, the lingering pain persisted. For Sierra's parents, Marlene and Steve LaMar, legal justice felt incomplete. Without Sierra's body, there were no final goodbyes, no sacred place to mourn. Her story remained suspended in heartbreaking ambiguity, leaving a relentless echo among her loved ones and supporters worldwide. Though Antolin Garcia Torres's conviction provided some answers, his silence left many mysteries unresolved. Most haunting among them, where is Sierra LaMar? What were the last terrifying moments she endured? Did Garcia Torres act alone, or were there other accomplices? As far-reaching as the investigation went, some doors remain closed to this day. Sierra's family continues to hope for her return, or, at the very least, some fragment of the truth. They suspect someone may still have details that could bring closure to their years of agony. The FBI and local authorities urge anyone with tips to come forward. The narrative of this case now carries significance beyond Sierra's name. It's a call to action for missing persons everywhere. Through the years, the LaMar family has transformed their anguish into advocacy. They remind the world that Sierra was more than a name or a victim. She was a beloved daughter, sister, and friend. Their courage serves as a testament to the unyielding power of love, even in the wake of tragedy. But for all their strength, questions still punctuate their nights, especially that of where Sierra now rests. The case also awakened a broader awareness in the community. Many residents in Morgan Hill and the surrounding areas have increased their vigilance since Sierra's disappearance. Efforts to educate children about personal safety have sparked important conversations nationwide about how to equip families against senseless crimes. Sierra LaMar was a bright young girl with a future full of possibilities. Her story is not just one of tragedy, but also of perseverance. The search for answers continues, and the hope for closure remains strong. The LaMar family, along with law enforcement and an international community, refuse to let Sierra's memory fade. If any part of this story resonates or stirs reflection within you, consider how impactful it might be to share Sierra's story. Visibility can mean the difference between unanswered questions and a resolution. Authorities urge anyone with information to help piece Sierra's story together. For her family, hope endures because Sierra deserves to be brought home. As a way to honor Sierra's legacy, the LaMar family continues to advocate for those who feel forgotten. Through events, outreach programs, and awareness campaigns, they have brought light to countless other cases of missing persons. Their work ensures that Sierra's disappearance has not been in vain. Let this heart-wrenching case remind us of the importance of staying vigilant and supporting one another as a collective community. While Sierra's full story remains untold, her legacy is one of resilience and a search for justice. Thank you for watching. If you found this story impactful, please like, share, and subscribe to help keep Sierra's story alive. Together, we can stand with her family in their search for closure. Until next time, stay safe and take care of one another. The haunting case of Sierra LaMar, a mother's unending quest for justice.